Heyo, happy Thanksgiving from the Smoking Tire, and it's the Smoking Tire podcast. Hopefully you're driving somewhere good this week, and if you are, you're going to want to know about Off the Record because they are going to be out in full force trying to get you doing something a little nasty in your car. And if you get pulled over and ticketed for any reason whatsoever, you don't plead guilty. You need Off the Record. They will assign a qualified attorney in the jurisdiction where you got that ticket, and they will do everything they can to get those points off of your record. As you know, points on your license can affect your insurance, your employment, and any number of other things. You don't want them, kids. Trust me. Don't plead guilty. Get Off the Record. Go to offtherecord.com/TST. That's offtherecord.com/TST to get 10% off all legal services booked through Off the Record. One more time, offtherecord.com/TST to get 10% off all legal services for Off the Record and drive safe this holiday. All right, guys, on this post-Thanksgiving Day special, Zach and I are in the studio, and I am bitching about Waymos getting lost in parking lots. I hit a milestone in my Spider. Zach hosts a made-up but fun awards show, and a whole lot more. It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Let's do it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I guess you're going to be hearing this either Wednesday or Friday or Thursday. Thanksgiving, maybe.
Well, we know, you're right. We might do it Friday.
It'll be a big old surprise when you put this up. If you hear it after Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good one. If you're listening to us live, I hope you're going to have a good one. Zach's about to go to Palm Springs for a week in a Volvo cross country.
Yeah. The Jews travel to the desert, but in comfort. V90 cross country.
We said we'd never go back there. 40 years in the desert.
Remember when we were on the hike in Angel's Landing and these like Orthodox kids were walking up the stairs or the switchbacks, and one of them was like, "Oh, I'm so tired," and my brain was just like, "Bro, you should be good at this."
40 years, you should have known.
Residual cardio.
You guys study real hard for this.
Yeah,
already. Don't you know what? You don't know how to make matzah? The fuck. They didn't have time for the bread to rise. Yeah, sure.
Always in a rush. Why?
Yeah, that should. I mean, your Thanksgiving's not that like stressful, right? Is it pretty mellow?
What do we call it? It's a trip, not a vacation. I think my cousin described it.
Do people do drugs?
No. Not that kind of trip. No, not that kind of trip. Valid question. It's just there's a lot of personalities, you know, and you have to like. Some of them are really cool and chill, and some of them are a little judgy, and you got to kind of manage all of that. And there's just like lots of kids, lots of dogs. There's lots to pay attention to.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. Yeah. It's very fun, and I truly love all my cousins. They're really cool and fun. But trying to get time with them, I feel like a politician.
Right.
You know, like scheduling half an hour while their kid's doing something.
That'd be funny if you guys have to like send in like, you know, send me that calendar
Google calendar thing and find your slot.
Beer on the roof at 3:30.
It really is. We have a dinner on Friday night that's no kids, which is fun. So it's just adults only. The kids will do whatever. I think one of the kids is old enough to babysit the other ones now.
Yeah, I mean, the kids will steal the liquor from the liquor cabinet and get shit-faced at home while you guys
They're like 12.
That's the age that happens.
That's a good point.
All you need is one of them to be 15.
One of them is 16.
You cannot have a 15-year-old babysitting a 12-year-old. They will all be drunk.
Ooh, we'll see. She doesn't seem like that kind of kid, but maybe.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
I'm
not. Maybe that's just I'm projecting my own family.
Hey, that's all we know. We know what we were.
Look, all I'm saying is I was the 16-year-old.
I had friends in high school who did that for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Mine. Oh my God. So I'm pretty sure we've talked about it in the past. Thanksgiving is Hannah's family's holiday.
Yep.
It is non-negotiable whether or not Hannah goes to her family's Thanksgiving. I've always been told that it's optional whether or not I go, but she's going, right? Like, she will never go to my parents' Thanksgiving. Oh. That's what that means. I mean, literally, we've been together since 2014, so this will be year 12.
11.
14. 11. Sorry. No, I was trying to think at what time of the year we met, but it was before that. So yes, so this will be year 11, and she's never been to my family's Thanksgiving.
Wow.
I've been to, of the 11, I think I've been to like 9 of the 11. Okay.
Is Thanksgiving a big holiday for your family also? Because
Well-
you, as a Hebrew like myself, Christmas is a little underwhelming.
I mean, historically it was. My mom would do Thanksgiving for like 40 at my house. You know, we had growing up like not like a huge house, but like the biggest house for entertaining. And my
40 is a
mom,
lot of people.
40 is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And we had, you know, we lived in a very Jewy neighborhood, so we had one of those like kosher ready kitchens where you have essentially 2 kitchens in the kitchen. So we, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Have you ever been in a house that's like a conservative or Orthodox Jew where they keep kosher? If it's a nice conservative, if it's a fairly high end house, there will be 2 of everything.
Wow.
Because they separate all this shit. So there's 2
Even
dishwashers.
the stove has separate milk and meat.
There were not
separate with the stove?
necessarily 2 stoves, because if you have a multi-burner setup where
Right.
they're spread, it's like, I don't remember the exact rules, but we lived in a fairly high-end but cookie-cutter planned community. Like there were 3 copies of our house in the community, but it was Jew-ready. Jew move-in, all of them had the dual setups for kosher.
That was on the ads on the bus for the realtor.
For kosher ready.
Yeah.
So for us, it only came into play during like parties. Where having 2 dishwashers if you're having a big party is fucking money.
Yeah.
We were talking about that, Miss Pat.
I started
did you
listening
listen to it?
She has 5.
5 dishwashers.
5 dishwashers, 13 bathrooms, 11 bedrooms, 15,000 square feet. And then she goes, and I didn't realize how much it would cost to have the lights on and stuff. And she's, hopefully she's joking that she's on a payment plan with the power company, but damn.
No, you've heard. She's probably not on a payment plan, but that's, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's you hear about that with people who buy Bugattis and then they go,
Right.
The service is $25,000. Like
959s?
Yeah. So anyway, my mom did Thanksgiving growing up, but I guess it was after like we moved out. Me and Alexis moved out. My sister. They started doing the country club Thanksgiving, which is literally like the club they belong to, which I'm not going to say what it is, but it's standard issue Westchester, County, New York Country Club. And they have the big Thanksgiving Day buffet and blah. So they've been doing that I did it a couple years, then I met Hannah, then, so it's that. But so I haven't been to my family's Thanksgiving in 8 years.
But that's kind of nice because then they're not cooking all this food and
they love
guilt-tripping
it.
you that you aren't coming in.
No, they love it.
And your mom can't be like, I did all this work, and their friends are probably there.
Well, by the way, it's 25. My mom still my parents still entertain the entire family. They just do it at the club.
Okay.
So they have a table for 26 at the club. It's like a quarter of the people that are there is my family. And it's a 3-hour thing. It's just nobody has to make food or bring anything.
But I'm just saying it's probably great. Hopefully she can't guilt trip you as much for not attending because she's not like, I did all this stuff.
To their credit, they've never guilt tripped me.
Nice.
Having said that, I decided that this year I was going to go. And my mom was like, Hannah's never come. Like, what can we do to so, and Hannah's family is like pretty rigid on this, and Hannah's been pretty, and I go, all right, well, how's this going to work? So we do it. So our Thanksgiving, the Farrah Thanksgiving, is going to be a brunch. Full 3-hour deal. Whole family agreed to do this to make it a brunch Thanksgiving from like 11 to 2. I'm then going to, with Hannah, hop in and from the club, we're going to bring our shit because we're flying to my parents' house on Tuesday, be there for 2 nights, immediately from Thanksgiving dinner. Oh my God. We're going to take a 2-hour Uber to her family's house, which is on the southern shore of Long Island, and dive right into
second
her
Thanksgiving.
family's Thanksgiving.
Wow, that's
This
a lot.
is among the more hardcore things I have ever attempted.
You gotta sleep in the car.
Fucking life.
Man, if you get a chatty Uber driver.
Everything about this is terrible. And oh, by the way, Jillian's coming with us.
Okay, so you won't rest in the car.
No.
Yeah. Jillian's so fun,
backstory:
but
Jillian is my
chatty.
sister-in-law,
Yeah.
the wife of my brother-in-law John, who passed away of leukemia. She is still very close with me and my wife, and she is aggressive. She's an aggressive personality, and so you can't just like nap in a car that she's in.
Yeah, no, she has to talk, and she's very. And if you're ready for it, she's super entertaining. Like Armin, one of our great friends. And if I'm ready for it, he's the most entertaining person to be around. But if I'm not, like,
gotta be on the energy
I need
wavelength,
earplugs.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, she'll be at the Thanksgiving too, so maybe the turkey will
crash.
You know.
Tryptophan effect.
Yeah. I mean, now the good news is Hannah's parents, for the first time ever, who are older than my parents, are also not about cooking this year. So even though they've got like 19 people down there, they're getting Thanksgiving takeout from the local Jewish deli, which culinary-wise for me is like super ideal. I could just like pick a little bit and have a small corned beef sandwich for dinner and be like, this is great. You know, it's like not. There's no pressure to have
you don't need the whole
actual Thanksgiving dinner when it's just Jewish deli takeout. So, but that's going to be pretty intense. And then we're at her family's house for 3 days and we have no car. Yeah. That's gonna be tough.
I was wondering about that. Like, couldn't you take Jillian? You can't take the Jaguar because that's
we wouldn't be able to take and because we're doing a new thing. So for anybody flying into JFK, prepare for the apocalypse. Getting out of JFK, the last 3 times I've been there has taken over an hour to get like. To get like the shuttle to the wherever, to get the thing, to get whether it's that or an Uber, it's hours. It's horrible. So we're taking a layover in Minneapolis and flying to Westchester Airport, which is like 5 minutes from my parents' house. So I'd rather have the hour layover in Minneapolis. So we're trying that as an experiment. And the 2 regional flights instead of the one, this is fucking genius. The 2 regionals instead of the 1 transcontinental on Thanksgiving. Much more likely to get upgrades, and we in fact got upgrades on both. So hopefully we don't get totally fucked and stranded in Minneapolis. Aside from that, there's a risk. There's a risk associated with this plan.
I feel like you should borrow a car from your parents though, and just instead of Ubering.
But I'm not going back.
Oh, you're flying back.
That's the problem.
Out
I'm flying
of JFK.
Yeah, because the problem is arriving at JFK, not leave. Sunday morning, 6 o'clock, leaving from JFK will be fine. Okay. It's the arriving at 3 p.m. Because even if you take the 6 a.m. at LA, that's the 3 p.m. arrival.
Yep.
Dude, that is the 7th circle of hell. JFK to Greenwich at 3 p.m. Fuck that. It's terrible.
Yeah, you need a boat. Might be quicker.
I mean, that's one of those, I hate helicopters, but if they did a chopper, I bet it would be worth it.
Is there not one? I feel like Uber helicopter.
I mean, there's that Blade shit that goes to Manhattan. I don't think they just fly you anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, pick a service. One of them's crashed.
Got it. There was one that crashed in Manhattan, but it was like, it was one of those things where like the company had gone bankrupt, but then sold to another one, but it was the same owners and like a lot of paperwork shuffling.
Yeah. Boat would be tough because JFK is on the South Shore, and so you'd have to go around Brooklyn, up Manhattan East River, and then out Long Island. That would not be particularly efficient. Anyway. Well, inside baseball, Thanksgiving.
Well, when you return,
that was fucking 15 minutes of radio.
I have a gift for you.
What?
For driving. For
Una
one of your
presente
cars.
for me. Oh, invest in stocks. I drive your car. This is Vin and Ron, yeah?
Yeah,
the
well,
driver's
Vin and
era?
Osh's the driver's era, but like we were just talking about that.
Yes.
And I will confess that buying 2 of these license plates, I got one for myself, also enters me to win Vin's E92 track car, which I am assured I will win. I'm assuring myself.
But if I put this on my car, I get one of those entries. No.
I thought about that, but I did use my own money. However, it's exactly what we were just speaking about.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Timing, so.
That's very good, yeah. Guys, we got to take a quick break because support is coming in hot from Aura Frames. It's the time of year where everybody's asking me, what do I get my people for a gift? Well, if you can't afford to buy them a Ferrari, maybe you'd like to consider Aura Frames. These things are awesome, and I'll tell you why. It's because everybody wants the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the brothers and sisters to get your family updates. The kids are growing up, what the family's doing, the vacations and all of that, and maybe you want to start that as a tradition. And this is it, the Aura frame, because all you got to do, it's a digital frame. You send it to somebody, they plug it in, they put it on their mantle, and then as you upload photos to a shared folder, they just start appearing in your loved one's living room. This could be photos of your kids, or it could be something a little naughty if you want to cause some problems at the other end of that Aura frame. But there are a bunch of new traditions this year. You can curate an Aura frame as a gift. Which photos are you adding? All you've got to do is download the Aura app, connect to Wi-Fi. You can preload photos before it ships, but you can keep adding them from anywhere, anytime. But that way, you can personalize your gift. It's so easy to share photos and videos just from your phone all year long, and every Aura frame comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. And for a limited time, visit auraframes.com. That's A-U-R-A, frames.com, and get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, using promo code TIRE at checkout. That's A-U-R-A, frames.com, promo code TIRE. This exclusive Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so order it now before it ends. Support the show by using code TIRE at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Also, speaking of paying for things, how about CashApp supporting us today? Dude, I just used CashApp this week because I sold like 6 watches on Instagram and 2 people wanted to pay me on CashApp. But CashApp's, what they want us to talk about right now is security. Scams, right? There are some real shady scams out there, like the UPS one where they say there's a package waiting for you and you have to enter your personal information, or you have to pay a tax. There's ones going around that say you have to pay tariff fees on stuff, and you basically don't want any of that happen. Watch stuff, oh man, it can be bad out there. But the holidays, it's about gifts, right? And finding the perfect gift. And not every deal is what it seems. Scammers are getting real creative to trick people into sharing their payment info through methods like fake shopping sites and giveaways that are too good to be true. But CashApp has 24/7 fraud monitoring, helping to detect and alert you for unusual activity should someone gain access to your card, so you can act fast if something seems off. You can also lock or unlock your CashApp card instantly right in the app for extra control and peace of mind. Stay one step ahead of scams this season and keep your money secure with CashApp and the CashApp card. For a limited time only, new CashApp customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, just download CashApp, use our exclusive referral code SECURE10. That's SECURE and the number 10 in your profile. And you send $5 to a friend within 14 days and you get $10 dropped into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's CashApp. CashApp is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by CashApp's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Promotions provided by CashApp, a Block Incorporate brand. Visit CashApp/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Also, you know, Paul and Todd from Everyday Driver were here on the other show, and so the last show was kind of about them. But Zach hosted this new awards show, the Racer Creator Awards, by Racer Magazine, which was relaunched this year by our friend Taro. And we were nominated for Best Podcast and won.
Yeah.
So we got a trophy, which is fun.
Trophy.
It's hefty.
It's very hefty.
It's very hefty, and I don't really know what it took us to get it, but thank you to whoever was involved.
Scotto was on the committee, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I did. I have just for people, I have no clue who's on the judges thing, the committee. I have no fucking idea. And then he replied to our Instagram like, "You're welcome. I voted for you guys." Is this a center lock?
It's some kind of a wheel hub.
That
might be a center lock nut, and this is some kind of wheel hub thing. It's weird because at first it's like, this is a made-up awards thing. Like, this is just a thing that's been made up. And then someone hands you a trophy and you go, I won.
Yeah. And they're all made-up awards until they get their 5th year, their 10th year. You know, the Oscars had to have a first Oscars, and it was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was this bullshit?
I do think it's cool, like, to have it in LA because there's so many creators here.
Yeah.
And I think SEMA has Creator of the Year, but I don't know if they have
do.
other creator like award stuff. This had a lot of categories basically. I think SEMA is more focused on one thing.
Yeah. But you did a good job. That was a very, very difficult. That was among the harder gigs I've seen people take. I mean,
The venue for comedy was tough.
yeah, I mean, it was in a tent, which, you know, would have been fine if the tent actually had walls.
Right.
It only had 2 of 4 walls. It was during a massive downpour, and the walls were facing downtown Los Angeles.
Yep.
So there's fucking fire trucks and all kinds of shit going by. I mean, that's a tough gig.
Yeah, I didn't realize till afterwards talking to everybody that, you know, a comedy club is like low ceiling. They're known for that. The laughs echo. This was like a 60-foot ceiling with all the sounds you talked about, and then off to the left, 30 people were at the bar eating popcorn,
bad corporate gig.
just chatting, and it was exactly like that. I had
like there was no way in which you were going to crush. I think you did amazing.
Thank you.
Consider
Thank
the
you. It was
delta.
very hard, yeah.
There was some really funny and, you know, in typical Zach fashion, like sort of subtle jokes that I thought were really, really funny. And Hannah was like, "Oh my God, he's killing." She said over and over, like, "He's killing."
I couldn't hear. I heard one set of laughs in the entire 8 minutes because it was so loud.
Yeah.
like you could have shot
No, it
someone
was
and I wouldn't have heard it.
It was such a loud room. There was so many. I mean, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I hope that if they keep doing the thing and it becomes not a made-up award show, that maybe they find somewhere a little quieter.
Move it inside.
Yeah.
And I think you got to like captive the audience more and just make sure everyone's sitting and paying attention a little bit instead of
Very
like
least,
this
pay
standing
for all
room
4
happening.
walls.
Yeah.
All 4 walls of the tent, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I love Taro and I appreciate what they're doing. And like, I think, you know, it's not normal for it to rain like that in LA, but like, goddamn, that was rough.
Yeah. Well, if I could survive that, you know, then anything
man.
should be easy after that. But
No,
thank
it's not.
you.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I think the people who were sitting around me, who was like people we know, you know, like local LA, you know, cats, we all thought it was great. I mean, we thought it was funny, but man, we heard the ambient noise of the room was like 87 decibels.
It totally was.
It was crazy.
I saw someone's iPhone recording, and it was after the fact. Like my adrenaline was going down, and I could hear the noise, and I went, "Sounds like the static on a television." It's just the rain. I could not believe. I thought I was hearing like the heater for the building, and it was just the raindrops were huge.
Yeah.
We don't get rain like that here a lot.
Yeah.
We usually get drizzles, but this was like Florida, like whack, thwack, 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 thwack.
It was an atmospheric river.
It was white noise. You could definitely fall asleep to that kind of rainstorm.
The Rivian was really good in the rain. I'll talk about the Rivian on the next show. But I think you did well, and man, I think I have to respect Amelia, our friend Amelia Hartford, who won like 3 awards.
3 things.
She got like Video of the Year, Female Creator of the Year, and then Creator of the Year.
Yep.
Good for her. You know, we've been friends for like a really long time. I love Amelia, and I saw her and the boys, and she was like, "I have to ask you something that's you're gonna think I'm such a huge loser." And I go, "I don't think you're a huge loser, but I cannot wait to hear what you ask me." She goes, "I won those 3 categories, but I only got 1 trophy." She's like,
Really?
"Yeah." She said apparently I don't know whatever, because they gave her Creator of the Year, they did not feel the need to give her more than 1 trophy. So she goes, "Can I borrow your trophy for a photo to look?" And I go, "Sure." And she goes, "You're friends with Scotto, right?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Can you ask him to borrow his trophy too?" And then, and if you look at the series of photos, here's why she's Creator of the Year.
So funny.
I'm making a joke that she was even hilarious about at the time, but like, here's why she's Creator of the Year, because her photo set on Instagram from this, like, I think makes the thing look like it was a bigger, much more like legit established thing than like it, you know, really kind of was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a good. It's like she's got her like glamorous prep shots, and then the thing like her personal coverage of the event.
Her team
has done a really good job.
Yeah.
Making this thing look like super, super legit.
Secret is no wide shot of, because to
Keep it tight.
Like the screen when I first got there, I went, oh, the screens are pretty big, but then it's not even as long as like a tractor trailer. It's a little bit smaller, and it's one of these like two screens pop out of one, and so it's 60 feet wide total, and so that's the stage. The stage is 60 feet wide, and there was like 200 chairs, I think. Yeah. But if you did like a big wide shot, it might not look that huge. But all her stuff is tight.
Her folks this photo set here is like why she's like better at doing the internet than us.
Yeah, she's very good at it. I mean, that and building the cars and all that stuff, she's very good at it.
Can you imagine if I had someone do like a photo set of me like getting ready for this event?
That's just not you. That's not you. Even when, like, I don't know how you were when I was getting ready for my wedding, and the guy was like, "All right, stand by the window," and like the pictures are good, but I felt so weird just posing for that stuff. Yeah. It just felt so strange.
Yeah. No, you ponder something outside while you're buttoning your fucking shirt.
Definitely looks like I'm looking over a manor that I've purchased.
That shit is mad lame. Yeah. Those shots we glance over them once and they're done.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm proud of her, and she looked great, and she was, she does great work, which is why she's, making all the money.
And I didn't watch Pikes Peak this year, but Zort told me later that he was her coach. They never met, but she did the GT4 class or whatever, and she almost won her class. Yeah, and he was like,
"No, she's fast."
She almost kicked everybody's ass, by the way, and like Jeff Swartz's face lit up. He's like, "I had never met her, but holy shit!"
Yeah, so she's quick.
She's very quick
and light.
She's done a lot of driving.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah,
but the asking for the trophies for the photo is just like a very funny, like, how do we cover this?
It's funny they didn't make one for each.
Also,
really weird.
Also that they should have done that. They were like, even if they were like. You know what I would have done is make like little charms that hung off the main trophy or something. If they didn't want to go and spring for other full-size trophies. I don't know.
Maybe they miscounted or something. I'm not sure.
Maybe someone stole her other trophies.
It's possible.
So we started a few minutes late today because I was at the mall with my wife. I got my eyebrows threaded for the first time. You ever do that shit?
I mean, I've had them plucked. I've never had them threaded. I've seen the signs.
I think... It was like I got a facial, and the women I've spoken to have oversold how painful a facial is. For me, a facial is not remotely painful, but for apparently some people it is. And I think they undersell how painful threading is. Threading feels a lot more like getting a tattoo than it does like, anything else I've experienced.
Especially under here. These hurt.
It's not pleasant.
Closer to the eye?
Apparently the first time you get it done, it hurts the most.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Because the roots are strong.
Because it's bushy, and they don't know what's coming.
Your eyebrows do look manicured.
They look
did they buzz them down a little bit and shorten them?
Yeah.
My barber does that sometimes. They get unruly.
Well, Arab comes out in fun ways,
Then I have 4 units of Arab because I'll get these long, freaking, shrimp tentacles. Or whatever, like antennae.
It's also the Jew. Those are the Jewish space lasers.
That's the 0.6% of my DNA that's actually Jewish.
Those are the horns they're talking about in the Bible.
They detect money. They detect opportunity.
Yeah. But Hannah wanted to continue her shopping, and so I took a Waymo here from the mall. So that's why I was late. So Waymos are still... Guys, one more break today because support is coming in extra hot from Rula. Taking care of your mental health shouldn't be harder than taking care of your physical health, but it is. If you pull a muscle, you go see a doctor. But when it comes to finding the right therapist, it's so frustrating. There's wait lists, or you're staring down huge out-of-pocket costs, and that's what usually stops people from getting the help they need. I go see a therapist. In fact, it's the same therapist I've been seeing for over 15 years. But if I had to start over today, I wouldn't know where to begin with traditional therapy. I would totally start with Rula because Rula makes therapy simple, affordable, and fast. They work with most major insurance plans, and the average session copay is just $15. That's basically the cost of lunch, but instead of a sandwich, you're investing in your own headspace. Every 2 weeks for the last 15 years, really take advantage of that 1 hour. And and I I talked to him about things I would not talk to people about, to others about, including my wife. And it helped me put things in perspective. It's helped me think about myself in new ways. It's helped me break down some ego things. And it's really, really, really helpful to all kinds of different people, not just people like me. But getting matched to the right person can be really hard. So with Rula, you're not just matched and left to figure it out. They check in and make sure you're actually making progress. All the therapists on the platform are licensed, vetted, and picked for their expertise, so you know you're talking to someone legit, not just whoever happens to be available. To get started, you just answer a few quick questions about what matters to you, and Rula connects you with in-network providers who actually fit your needs. You pick the time, and you could be talking to a therapist as soon as the next day. No weeks of waiting, no endless back and forths. So, thousands of guys have already used Rula to finally get the care that they needed, so don't keep putting it off. Go to rula.com/tire and get started today. That's rula.com/tire. Take the first step, get connected, and take control of your mental health. And now back to the program. They're fucking bad at parking lots. Like they're bad at especially a mall parking lot on a weekend in November.
Well, they probably go really slowly. They are cautious.
Fucking passive.
Yeah.
They're so passive. Anyone exhibiting any amount of, assertiveness in their car, the Waymo will just wait for you indefinitely. When it was waiting for me, it pulled over on the opposite side of the street, in the parking lot street that I was standing on, and it was there. It hadn't stopped for 5 seconds. It stopped in a weird place. It didn't pull over in like the loading zone. It just stopped. This lady starts honking at it. I'm like, it's a fucking Waymo, dude. There's no person there to hear you honking, lady. But it could have, if it was a human in a taxi, the human would have not stopped there. But if they had, they would have just made a U-turn to the left. There's plenty of room, plus the actual loading zone on the opposite side. U-turn to the left, back out the way they came. So I go out, walk across the street, get in the Waymo. It then has to make a 3 rights through the parking lot to go. It will not make like a U-turn or anything like that. So it's just waiting for everybody. So cars backing out, cars trying to thing. This F-150 makes a wide turn, and it just like sits there.
Just stops.
And waits for the F-150 to do anything. That's going to be, that to me shows.
That could kill your time, right?
It did. Yeah. It doubled the time I was going to take to get here. And that doesn't mean like self-driving cars aren't like a miracle of modern engineering. Like they are. Like it was safe. It didn't actually hit anything. It navigated, albeit very, very conservatively, a complex driving situation safely. But like also, like it's without like a hard pin of like, this is the loading zone, which for some reason there just isn't. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a mess intermixing with human drivers. And there's still just like really, really, it just proves that there's no one size fits all. Like if you want to solve traffic, AVs ain't it. Mass transit is it. If you want to have, if you want to improve road safety, and in certain types of situations, particularly highways, AVs, definitely. If you want to have an efficient like taxi service, like localized taxi service, like there's a lot that people can do. Mm-hmm. that fucking a computer you can't talk to,
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I was walking the dog a few days ago and a Waymo pulled up. They're in my neighborhood a lot, but it pulled in front of a driveway to wait for someone. Mm-hmm. And this driveway was one of those ones that goes down into an apartment building. Mm-hmm. So it's got like the gate.
It's like below grade.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a below ground level apartment parking lot. Mm-hmm. And about 6 seconds before the Waymo stopped there, a gentleman in his Honda Civic had pulled up onto the driveway to go to work. Mm-hmm. The gate had closed behind him, and then the Waymo pulled up in front of him.
And blocked him.
And because there's no one to talk to, he honked, and the car didn't move.
Yeah.
And he looks at me. I start laughing. I just start laughing because I'm like, this is a hilarious predicament.
Yeah.
And Robo-Car is like, this is very funny. And the guy gets out and like walks up to the car and he was perplexed. He's like, I have no way to communicate that this is a thing that's happening.
I've seen on most of them on the quote driver's door. The best way to describe the door, and there is a steering wheel there. There's like a QR code that says, "Is there a problem, officer?" with a QR code.
Interesting.
So, like, if it gets pulled over,
right,
that like I guess directs you to the Waymo customer service.
So I guess what happens?
What happens
if a normie calls it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what would happen. I don't know how you have a complaint from outside the Waymo, but like that's probably a thing to learn.
I also saw one backing up in traffic the other day, but I think it had stopped. For some reason, it had stopped on the crosswalk. And I arrived after the light had turned red, but all of a sudden I see a Waymo with its reverse lights on. I was like, what is happening? And it backed up into a slot that was available because it was encroaching on the crosswalk and then went back into drive. It's like...
There's certain things they do that are like, you want them to do. Like, you don't want them to stop in a crosswalk. You want them to be pretty by the book in a lot of... I want them to come to full stops, even if that makes them not feel human. Like, you just want that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think you want... I don't know if it's a technical limitation or a rule that Google or whoever has set for these cars to like not make a U-turn in a parking lot, for instance. Like, I would like them to be able to make those choices that like a rational human would make.
Yeah.
That may be too much to ask. I'm not really sure, but like that getting in and out of the parking lots is pretty goddamn silly. And the fact that it won't pull into our driveway here is fine, but like I now have a move. So because it drops me off in the back by the garbage.
Right.
I now have to be ready to hit the pull over button. If I hit the pull over button right when I'm about to pass the front door, then it turns the corner and stops right at the corner instead of going around back by the trash.
Yeah.
That's a much better solution. It gets me about halfway to where I really want to be dropped off.
What if you entered, the address of whatever that business is on the corner? If you entered that address, would it drop you right in that spot?
It might do that. It's possible it would do that. Yeah. But
otherwise it drops you where the raccoons live.
Yeah, and
literally.
more importantly, there isn't a door on the back side of the building that's unlockable from the outside.
Right.
So even with my keys, I have to walk around the whole block to get to the other side of the building. It's fucking stupid. But that's a little inconvenience for me. But as an example of something that could, if you're the kind of person who's taking a Waymo because they fear being assaulted by a taxi or rideshare driver, and it drops you off in the shadiest place
in an alley where people are like burning things in barrels. Yeah.
Like cooking meth and shit.
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't really solved your problem.
Well, Merry Christmas to us.
They're delivering girls now.
You got your eyebrows threaded, didn't you?
That's essentially the Uber Eats for racists. Which is not a joke you should laugh at, although maybe it is.
I just got to make a note to cut that word from the
YouTube to beep it out? You have to beep it out?
Like,
okay, yeah, you can't use that word. Okay, so we won't use that anymore. I don't know how you can. It may be one of those super slippery slopes where if like they make it okay for Waymos to make U-turns in parking lots, like it could end up with like.
I'm sure they'll graduate there. Remember, I told you I was in traffic and one did a left-hand U-turn across 2 lanes in front of me. There was like a gap in traffic, and I went, "Wow, that was shocked."
I've seen it make U-turns on on public roads before. It's strange you can't do it in a parking lot.
I guess it doesn't want a 3-point turn. I don't know. They'll get there.
Yeah,
they have a Waymo. I went to the Petersen yesterday, and they have a whole Waymo exhibit of like the timeline, and here's how it began, and it shows what the radar is scanning and LiDAR is scanning and stuff. And it's cool. It's cool to see like here's what the computer sees. But there was no timeline for U-turns in parking lots, not yet.
No, and there was no memorial for Kit Kat. No. Yeah.
You know what was cool? They have an art installation from someone, I don't know who it is, but artist called Mr. Brainwash. But it was very.
You know who Mr. Brainwash is? You never seen Exit Through the Gift Shop?
No.
Oh, you should see it.
I thought that was a Banksy
It is.
thing.
It is, but also it's not. Like it's actually about this guy who becomes Mr. Brainwash.
Oh, okay.
In sort of in the movie while sort of also the movie is about Banksy. It's almost kind of about the title "Exit Through the Gift Shop" just like implies like basically like you could really commercialize this shit, and Mr. Brainwash is an excellent example of the commercialization of that type of Banksy-esque art.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. It's a very interesting movie.
Okay. I mean, I've heard it. I know the name.
Yeah, it's worth 90 minutes of your time. Sorry.
Well, his art installation is very cool, and he did. And I don't know if he hand painted these things or if it's like the Banksy thing of mishmash, or not him. Who am I thinking of?
Alec Monopoly, collage.
Yeah, collage guy. But it was like old-timey Victorian paintings and paintings from pioneer time and stuff. But they're all like, you know, there's guys like old Victorian guy with a big thing on his neck, but he's reading Cars for Dummies that was hand painted in there and shit like that. And like a New York taxi out in the middle of a pasture in the 1800s. There were like 30 of these things, and I just thought they were really. Some of them really made me laugh.
Oh,
like a very
check that out.
royally dressed, like clearly a king from the 1400s, but then wearing Max Verstappen's helmet.
Oh, that's
like
kind of cool.
hand painted. Yeah, it was really cool.
Mr. Brainwash is one of those guys that now has like a team of artists working for him. The amount of content that is churned out, physical art under the Mr. Brainwash name is a lot, and you go, how the fuck could one guy? It's because in Exit Through the Gift Shop, he's directing like 50 people.
Yeah,
he has like that movie is at the end. It culminates with. Plot spoiler, it's a documentary, but with a big like warehouse show. He's just like filling the warehouse with stuff, and it takes like all these people, and he's sort of directing people where to put shit. But like, you're like, wait, is he even making any of this? Like, what is he doing? Like,
I saw another. I think it was like a Vice doc, but you know, it's like the famous artist got famous for their work, and now they are directing people. Like, okay, take a picture of a light bulb from the 50s, but screen printed over this thing, and they just have someone else do the actual work.
That's who else? Dale Chihuly, the famous glass blower guy. He did like way back in the day do his own glass blowing, but he's now he oversees, you know, whatever 50 people that do the Chihuly style or whatever. But, but he gets like all the credit for it, even though it's like mad other people doing it. Yeah. Oh yeah, cars are beautiful. Mr. Brainwash at the Petersen.
I recommend it.
That's the guy. On the right. His name is Terry. His real name is Terry.
Gotcha.
Terry Guetta. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely. Wow, it's amazing. He really hasn't aged much since that Exit Through the Gift Shop movie. That's probably cool. I like the giant little Tikes cozy coupe.
We got a picture in that, which is fun. But yeah, you can.
Did you have a little Tikes cozy coupe when you were a kid?
Oh yeah.
You know what's the best-selling car in history?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, they had a lot of stuff. Yeah, Ferrari with horses and stuff.
That's cool. Fun. I mean, I hope somebody painted that. I like the being inside the Vincent van Gogh house thing.
That was rad. It was like if you stand back, it looks like it was painted after Vincent van Gogh like Scream style, and if you step way back, it's like looks two dimensional. You get closer, and it has a sign like you can go in here, you can sit on the bed. Yeah. So of course Sarah's stepdad did because his love of cars it goes beyond you and mine.
Oh yeah, and you took him for a ride in the Revology Mustang.
Did that? Yeah.
Did he enjoy that?
He did. He's good. He's like us. He points out little things. He's like, how come they have these window switches? And I was like, well, because they want the driver to be able to roll down the windows on the passenger side if they're alone. But they do look cheap.
Did you see you haven't looked at the new one yet?
But the new dash.
The new interior.
No, I have. It looks great. That's the one you choose.
The new they've re-engineered that. I appreciate that those guys are doing like updates to these cars, and the newest generation like interior looks really nice.
Looks really great, and the gauges are great, and the way it activates, everything works. That car is fast. Like even with the auto, I mean, it's like 500 horsepower.
Yeah, and 3,200 pounds or something. It
rips, and you know what? It doesn't feel like Mustang horsepower because it's light and actually kind of stiff, like too stiff for LA. Yeah. And I jumped on it, and I just went. Okay, we are climbing through the dial right now.
Yeah, they go. That orange car that we're going to drive for the video that's downstairs is a fucking heavy boy. That thing's got big power, manual. It's the 429 Boss. It's legit.
They're fun, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Petersen's good.
Petersen was good. It was very fun.
Superb. I'm out of things on my list, I'm sorry to say. I did. Well, I did just hit this morning. I hit 7,000 miles in the Spider.
Cool,
which is nice. On the way back from Malibu, I hit 7. That car's been ace. I mean, knock wood, whatever. But like, did the break in, run it in, like it just works actually as like it's supposed to. I mean, the only downside about that, the whole engine, gearbox, everything package is like the clutch is kind of heavy. So you don't really want to sit in too much traffic with it. That gets tiring quickly. But outside of that, what a fucking great car that is.
Yeah.
No regrets on that one. That thing is. I should do a road trip to somewhere in that car. That's really what it's actually better for that than anything else, really.
I mean, you could drive it to the fat ice race, whatever it's called.
I could do that.
That'd be pretty cool. And it's, I mean, top down, like with bundled up, the pictures would be rad. And
that kind of would be fun. Huh.
You just need like winter tires for it.
Yeah.
How
I was supposed to take the Manx for that, but
that's right.
Maybe not.
Do the Manx this year.
Yeah.
And then you do that Spider next year.
Something worth doing. That's road trippy in that thing. Deserves to have more miles on it, I think. Because that's not a car I'm getting tired of anytime soon.
Well, would you be able to take it on a future road and track thing, like the California ones?
I could.
Or do they want you to be in new cars?
That doesn't make a difference. If I said I wanted to drive my own car, I could. I could do the Arizona one in April that we're going to. But it's a fun opportunity to like try new cars on those. But maybe. I don't know. That's work. Yeah. Driving on those, it's different. That's not how I want to enjoy. It would be more like taking it on one of the Scouts than taking it on, the actual full trip. Mm-hmm. Because like, especially shifting, because I got to do radio and stuff. You really don't want a stick shift car for that gig. Having to have a free hand. I'm already driving one-handed like 90% of the time. Yeah. Anyway, do we have things from the people? Should we talk to them? Of course, the patrons over at patreon.com/thesmokingtire. Y'all keep the ship moving down the river. The patrons are incredibly important to this show, and I am very thankful for them this Thanksgiving because the ad sales business isn't great, and you guys are really keeping it moving. And of course, if you want to become a patron and support your favorite podcast and help us keep on keeping on, then the way to do it is at patreon.com/thesmokingtire podcast. You can get the show live. You can ask questions for the show. You can get the show the same day it's recorded. You don't have to wait till Tuesday or Thursday. You can get the show without ads. You can get extra show, and you can get early and exclusive access to collabs and things such as my Notice Canyon range of watches, which I think only the blue... Is the blue the only... I think only the dark blue Canyon was the one to make it out of the Patreon. I think the patrons snapped up every single...
Oh.
There might have been a couple of oranges outside the Patreon, too, because we made twice as many of those. But certainly the mint, the green, the pearl did not make it out of... Should we announce? I guess we can announce the
next... They're all sold out now.
They're all sold out now. Yeah, there's nothing left. The next color, which will be available in March... will be, and this one really will be the final color, but I'm not writing that on the case back this time, will be frozen berry metallic, shocker, with gold hour markers and gold hands, just like the, you have the website still up? No, just like the green. The green had the gilt gold hands and hour markers. This is going to have that, but it's going to be a little darker, like my car, but it's going to be the frozen berry metallic version of the watch. It will be the last one, and it's because it's pink. It's going to come with his and hers straps, so you can share it with your smaller wristed partner if they happen, or gift it to them. I had two people when I told them it was going to be that color. They already owned multiple other colors of the Canyon and said, "Oh, I'm going to get that one for my girl." Which, fine, do that if that's what they're about. So that's going to be the color. Do not email me asking about ordering them yet because we're talking about March here. It's 4 months. Save you pennies. And, of course, if you own all 5 other colors, you can have a guaranteed allocation. That's the rule. We support the people who support us. And patrons will get first access, 100 units outside of that. So let's get to the questions. Can you make that bigger?
Mm-hmm.
please.
Even bigger.
I know, right? 7 Mary 335i. Now that is very good. Oh, and speaking of 90s bands, so our friend Christian Hand has booked a gig doing his show on the I Love the 90s cruise, which is in January. And Hannah and I it's over. Also, Christian's birthday is on the cruise. And so there's some real bands that are on the show. I think Sponge is on the gig. I forget who else is on it, but it actually seems really fun. It's going out of Fort Lauderdale, which means we could go visit Mahdi the shaman and go iguana hunting on the way in or out. Is this it? Yeah, on the Celebrity Constellation. I'm not. I might literally go and have fun on this. I haven't done a cruise in a really long time. This seems like kind of a good time, and it's Christian's birthday.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you go? If you can, if you make the time, you should totally do it.
Yeah, and plus, we are due for iguana hunting. Excuse me, conservation. Iguana conservation.
They are an invasive species,
yes,
true.
We must conserve them. So anyway, Christian's booked this gig. If you want to go see Christian do shows 5 nights in a row, and a bunch of other bands with probably what is now a whole bunch of Gen X and millennials. So, yeah, it seems. I mean, look, it seems all right. It seems like
its
a decent
whole goal
time.
is to be fun, and
Yeah.
I think it will be.
Yeah,
you know?
I might want to fuck with that. Let's go back to the people. Thank you, 7 Mary 335 IS, for reminding me of that. What was a new car that came out when you were in high school that made the biggest impression? Mine was the 300ZX twin turbo, which I was able to buy after years of looking for a new one. I mean, dude, I had a prime years, dude. I had 97 to 2000 was my high school. So, I mean, you've got the NSX and I've got the 05. You've got, I mean, a lot of those Japanese cars were really at their peak right about then, the Supras. And I mean, there was a couple of like really rich kids in my high school. One had a Supra, brand new at the time. There was a kid with an Eclipse GSX, brand new. A lot of kids got S4s. Audi. We talked about the Audi S4s. So maybe the S4s made a big impression because everybody crashed them.
It's too fast and they understeered.
Too fast, handled like shit. Mm-hmm. Every single one of my friends that got one crashed into a stationary object.
I think the German cars that all my hot rod friends migrated away from hot rods to cars that turn, and they all went Volkswagen, and that made the biggest impression just because it taught me that like that's what cars could do. I think when new cars were coming out, like I'd read the magazines, but I wasn't hooked on any of them because they seemed too out of reach. So I was like, oh, new Lamborghini SV or 3000 GT or whatever, like cool, but I don't see many of them and I can't buy one. Mm-hmm. It was just the exposure to like a different kind of driving that landed the most. Yeah.
I mean, really, it wasn't high school. It was the Countach from when I was a kid, and that, that really did it. But Zoomy54, how do you decide between consolidating upward and a variety of experiences with always the right tool for the job? That's a good question. I mean, it heavily depends on your space, your funds, your time, and what is going on in the rest of your life. Like, whatever your hobby is, it shouldn't be, if it's collecting stuff like cars or watches or whatever, it shouldn't like fuck up the rest of your life, and it should stop feeling like work.
Right. And if you're not participating in those hobbies for a long time, if you go in your garage and there's 5 different equipment for 5 activities, you're like, man, I haven't done any of this in 8 months.
Yeah.
Would getting rid of some of those allow you to focus on one and clear out some clutter, mental clutter, save money, whatever it is?
Yeah, like with watches in particular, and maybe with cars, it can happen with cars for sure. If you start earning some money and you buy a bunch of cheap cars, and you go, I've got 5, not beaters, but 5 whatever. I've got an E30, I've got a Miata, I've got a this, I've got an FRS, I've got this, and you go, I could sell all of these, and I could have one, awesome 911 or something like that. It usually you hit a wall and go, I have too many things, not enough time, and I'd like to free up some time by having fewer things that are nicer, which is a totally this happens at all levels of collecting of anything. Like I ended up buying, there's so often when you collect stuff that there's opportunity. Like I go to like a watch, like that, the Intersect watch show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there. There's all this cool stuff. I'm meeting the guys who are the founders of these watch companies, and I buy a watch that's cool, but like kind of a novelty. You're somewhere else and you get a watch that's like cool and a novelty. Like got into custom Seikos for a little while, so I got like 6 of them because they're relatively affordable, and you could scratch that itch for not much money, that kind of thing. At a certain point, you go, I don't need 6 of these. I could have one custom Seiko, the one I wear the most, move the rest on, and get one thing I really want. You know? Same with cars, space and time. Lando Norris's worn plank.
I like this.
Fuck, marry, kill. Now, this is written as going to Dakar, Pikes Peak, or Le Mans.
So I think attending the
That
events.
means attending.
Yes. Which changes this a lot. Like, I would marry Pikes Peak because it's easy to watch.
Accessible.
It's accessible. It's in a pretty place. I think I would... I'd fuck Dakar once, I think.
Yeah.
Because
that's how that game works. It's once.
Right. And it's like, it'd be so hard to see it. You got to watch, like, hopefully there's internet to watch the coverage. But I'm out in an amazing place. But it'd be difficult. I would be over it. Attending Dakar.
The fuck out of here,
That's why
dude.
I do it once.
Going.
Here's why. Because Le Mans, I've been to Le Mans, and every time I watch, even the coverage of it isn't great on the screens because they don't have all the cameras like F1.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's important and stuff, but I don't want to attend it and stay up all night and wander. Like, I just don't want to do that anymore.
Dude,
So,
watching racing in person stinks.
for most racing, forms of racing, yes.
If Indy 500 or Daytona 500, I totally get it. Short track racing, I get it. Top fuel drag racing, #1 must-see motorsport experience in my life. You're fucking right there. It kicks you in the chest like a horse when that motherfucker goes by. You have to see that in person. It's amazing. Rally the fuck out of here.
I think, what'd be fun about Dakar? I bet if you traveled with the circus, because you'd be the only spectator, you could go to the pits and see everything happening, whereas Le Mans, unless you buy the pit pass, which will be expensive, then you're just in the woods with a bunch of, like, drunk British dudes and German people, and, like, that's fun, but I don't really drink that much anymore.
You could show up and be hanging out with them guys if you just get yourself there.
That's what I'd rather do that. That's more
Rally
of an adventure.
in terms of driver interaction, Rally is by far the most accessible. You're already in the woods.
Right.
No, you don't need a ticket.
That's your ticket entry.
You're in the woods. Drivers are in the woods. We're all in the woods. Like, that's it.
They'll think you're crazy. Like, you traveled here to not drive or compete. You're just standing on each sand dune each day to watch us wrench?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, they lock the doors for sure.
Yeah, it's great. You just have to not be linger longer.
Right.
Yeah,
don't make it weird.
Edward M340 hands. I want a small to mid-size SUV for my wife. You've mentioned the Acura RDX in the past. It would not be garage, so no electric or plug-in hybrid. Anything else?
CX-50.
Yeah.
The Mazda stuff is fun to drive.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about fun-to-drive crossovers, like almost all of them are going to be German and expensive. There's not a lot that is... You really have a Mazda and you have an Acura.
Yep.
Those are pretty much your choices.
The CRV is not fun. Neither is the RAV4.
And none of the Toyotas are fun.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. H-Town Till I Drown. Would love to see a pod talking about how true car stereotypes are. I mean, they come from somewhere, but they don't, like... They're not universally true, of course. I mean, other than people with SVJs can't help but rev them all the time. But I don't think that many of them are actually that true. I think they're just publicly more visible because I think when someone owns a car that fits into the stereotype, like, people use it to reinforce.
Sure.
More so than when someone who's outside the stereotype use it to individualize.
Because their brain is primed for that stereotype, so they see confirmation. But when they see something that disproves it, they probably don't remember it or latch onto it. Yeah. Like, I don't know many dentists, and I see a lot of people driving 911s.
Right.
There are a lot of people at Cars and Coffee that have 911s. Most of them are not dentists. I don't
No,
know.
that goes back to like literally the 80s. The 70s and 80s was the dentist 911 thing. Nobody, the dentists don't drive that shit anymore. That's not how that works. Elderly woman behind the parts counter in a small town. I like that. Do you know the breeds of any of your cats and what's the coolest? I mean, yes, but 3 of the 4 are just variations on American Shorthair. Cricket, Finn, and Nikki are all American Shorthair. Finn's a tabby. Nikki's a gray peach crossed with a tabby, and Cricket's a tuxedo. But those are all just American Shorthairs, different colors. Monty is a snowshoe, which actually is a different breed, and he's weird as fuck. But he has blue eyes, which is really unique and cool. Yeah. Monty's turned out to be a great cat. I blow horns. What do restomod companies consistently get wrong? Or are there any features, tech, or attributes that you would like to see that aren't in the high-end restomod market?
I think what a lot of them are getting wrong is too much horsepower. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, mostly Gunther, because their cars do a lot of other things well. And that has become their calling card to a degree. But I think most owners can't handle that power, don't need it. There's plenty of fun to be had at lower power levels. And especially with like pro touring builds, once that got really took off, it was LS plus turbo, LS plus supercharger, because you need to get that headline and have more power than the other guy making a resto mod. And now everyone has a 900 horsepower Chevelle that's terrifying.
Yeah,
just to say you have an LSA that's boosted.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of companies that can put a lot of money into chassis and engine work and then cheap out on the things that you touch and use sometimes. Not so much that it's cheap, but like they'll use the same kind of parts bin buttons and switches and stuff, and it can take away from, you could spend all this money on R&D, the chassis and whatever, but if you're using like cheap, flimsy buttons and switches, it's sort of like, nah, really?
It takes you out of the dream state that you're in for a minute, yeah.
I think there's a lot of companies that try to use push-button keyless start on a lot of particularly American cars, and it doesn't work that well. I can't tell you the number of Broncos that customers have kept with us with a shitty push button. Just put a fucking key, man. Like, it's an old car. Like, it's not, we don't need that in this car. Whatever Revology's using, it seems to work okay. I've had no issues with them. But like Broncos that were built 5-6 years ago and have these push button stuff were trash. Like, it was even John Ward, his shit's $350,000. They're using keys. Like, just the key is fine. I blow horn. Should Chevy add a C8 to the lineup with a Z06 engine and the E-Ray front axle, as opposed to what they're doing, upcoming with the ZR1 engine and the E-Ray front axle? Yeah, I think it's the kind of thing they could do easily, but I don't think. I would like it if the E-Ray just had the Z06 engine, to be honest with you. I think the E-Ray paired with the Stingray engine is kind of boring. It's a little bit boring. And I think that the E-Ray with the Z06 engine, the electric front drive axle with the Z06 engine should just be the E-Ray. And they should ditch the Stingray powered E-Ray. I don't even think it's selling very well.
That's what I was trying to Google numbers. I can't find any quickly, but
they should. I think they should just do that. Like, maybe there'll be a facelift, where they do that. But that's what I would have done. Okay. David Twig.
That one's funny.
David Twig the pink, one in the stink is kind of funny. What is the best money you've ever spent? My two were hiring professional movers and hiring a diminished value guy who got me additional money on my totaled Tesla. What is the best money you've ever spent?
Wow. The best money I ever spent on anything? Besides an engagement ring for our fiancés, of course, and the marriage that followed.
Right.
That was just required.
I mean, I got a couple. I've got, I mean, if you're talking about a consumer product, my Vespa, my green Vespa is easily the best consumer product I've ever purchased. It does everything I ask of it, and it never gives me the least bit of fucking headache at the other end. And it costs me nothing to own, nothing to use, adds practicality to my life, and I could turn around and sell it at a profit now. And that was not my intention ever in owning it. It's just delight all around. So that's the best consumer product I've ever had. And the other is like almost always lawyers. You don't fucking want a lawyer, but if you need one, it's probably money well spent.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, hiring a real accountant was very, very helpful.
Sure.
And it literally returned money to me, which was great. And also just offloading that, like the stress every year, because I did my own taxes for like 10 years.
And now that you mention it, my financial advisors. My
just
financial
hired a new
advisors,
one.
charge me a flat fee every year,
That's good.
and they earn me many multiples of what they charge.
That's good.
Charge me.
Yeah, you want fee-based, not commission-based.
Yeah.
I think movers, as an adult, when you
For
cross
sure.
that, huge. Do that every time.
Yeah. Movers is I mean, I agree with hiring movers. They are worth every penny, but that wouldn't even crack my top, thing. Look, I solve problems with money where I can. I would much rather work a little harder at my own job and earn a little more money to pay a talented professional to do a great many things in my life. That's just how I roll. So there's a lot of things that are worth every penny. A great chef's knife. It doesn't need to be $500, but like having one really good chef's knife, worth every
And
penny.
sharpening it.
Yeah.
Or like I bought a sharpening block, and I sharpen all of our shit, and that makes cooking easier across the board.
Yeah. Kim Jong Vroom. That's pretty funny. I'm about to take delivery of my new M3. Congratulations. Question is, out of every single M3 you've driven so far, what generation is your favorite? And what car out there would you consider a worthy competitor? The E46 is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I was running through all of them. Like the E90 sounds great, but it feels big. It is big. The E46 is a great size, but it still holds a lot of shit.
Yeah, and that
Looks
E46 is my favorite, and my second favorite is the F80 sedan.
That was a great car.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't choose it is because I don't like the turbo engine as much, because it was early BMW turbo and it was all torque from zero basically.
But I like its steering.
A really good car.
I like the steering a lot. I like the interior, the styling. I like that. I like that one a lot. And is there any car out there that's a worthy competitor? I mean, sure, some of the C63s are, particularly the later cars.
Yes. Like the Carbon one we got, that generation.
Yeah.
Once everything went turbo and
Yeah.
the C63 got a really good transmission, then he went, well, now it's like, how much noise do you want? They're both really close.
None of the Audis really got that close.
No.
I think the S4 and RS4, if you were talking about highway cars, probably were close, but not on a track, no. Giulia Quad, kinda. I mean,
I was going to say Evo 10 was closer because it was a sedan that was really fast on track. It's just not as nice.
yeah. I mean, I think there's electric cars that are actually closer to what an M3 does well than
Chevy SS, it's a little big.
it's a little big.
A little big.
Yeah. Grilled tail of the dragon. All right, wait. Holy shit. Okay, I just picked up a Focus RS. Are there any advice for worthwhile mods? I mean, as you know, I did not like my Focus RS. So, if you want me, okay. KW DDC coilovers, -1 on the wheels, a little extra sidewall, and then the Mountoon Stage 3 kit. Now, if you do all those things, you're probably talking $12,000 to $15,000, but like that's how you fix one, kind of. where you sell.
And possibly different seats, depending on your height.
I mean, for
and your
sure,
shape.
if you can, different seats.
Yeah.
Matt's missing Countach part. How frequently do you suggest that a car not being driven in the winter should be started and warmed up to operating temperature to keep the engine good shape till spring? I'd say once a month should do it. You can also you can prep a car for winter, and you can make it ready to sit so it can sit all winter if you want. If you really top off, you put some fuel stabilizer in it and then drive it around for 20 minutes and then, really top off the fuel, and, you can do an oil change so the oil that's in there is topped off and clean. Like, you can do that stuff if you want.
Do you need to put it on like jack stands so the tires don't get pressed into a square, or not really?
If you're like hardcore, you could. I probably wouldn't for like a couple of months. For maybe like 6 months or more, I might. They make these really dorky tire pillows too.
Yeah, the round things.
They're always trying to sell me those here. And I'm like, we just move the cars around, man. We shuffle the cars. And they're like, oh. Like that. Yeah. They're like, but you need these. You're storing all these cars. I'm like, I move them. That's part of what these guys in the blue shirts do every day. So, once a month should do it. If it's a modern car, you probably don't even have to do that. But if you want to be good, once a month, a little fuel stabilizer, and then you're good to go. Battery tender for sure. Alice Mini Cooper, all right, new member. I visited Pebble Beach, F1, been to 13 IMSA races and IndyCar. What other automotive events in the U.S. are worth traveling to?
Stadium Super Trucks.
Yeah. Daytona Black Bike Week. Definitely. Must see.
A rallycross event. Actually, that's gone right now. I think Nitro Rallycross closed.
Let's see. The Daytona 500 is worth seeing. If you really care about it, the 24 hours of Daytona has its charms. If you can, find a place to stay warm and dry.
Mm-hmm. If you can stay there all night, you mean? Infield.
Like if you can RV it or, whatever, some type of comfortable van camping, then it's pretty cool. Same with Sebring. Sebring is a shit show. And it's a very interesting one. So
I would start chasing driving events, like do a Lemons race or do a rallycross thing or do a school. I don't know, from a spectator perspective, I think so many of these things are worth watching on like online or on TV. Mm-hmm. Going to rally is cool maybe once, like 100 Acre Wood, but again, you could watch it on YouTube later and get more coverage.
Yeah.
You've kind of been to the big ones. Oh, Monster Jam.
Monster Jam is fun, and it's touring.
Everywhere.
They'll come to
and
you.
It's $20, yeah.
Yeah, they'll come to you.
Yeah.
I'll repeat my Top Fuel drag racing, and you can see that a lot of places. You don't even have to travel very far for that. There's concourses and things you can go to. I mean, I guess you should. I think Vegas F1 seems pretty fun, honestly. I don't know about this one. So this is a good question for which I don't have. And Elon Musk hiling a robo-taxi. We have coupes, sedans, crossovers, shooting brakes, etc. If you were to design a new automotive category, what would it look like and what features would it have? I'm not sure there's a category that I could invent that's really a good one. I would like to see the return of the compact truck, which basically doesn't really exist right now, but
that's tough because we've had everything. I appreciate when there's those concept designs, and they've been out since the 50s of like the robo car where everyone can sit and face each other.
Yeah,
and
where it's like a dining room table with wheels.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
The crash standards will be weird. Like if I'm at an angle facing you and we hit something behind me, am I going to twist my spine off? Probably.
I can't really think of an all new automotive category.
New shape. George Barris did a lot of them. People like that. I don't know.
I don't even know. No idea. That next question. Don't know whether I'm the. Okay, wait. Can you scroll down?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know whether I'm the Boxster or the Jag. I currently have a 400 horsepower Honda S2000 and a Honda Beat. I'm not a Honda guy. I just happened into those cars. Now that you said the NSX doesn't do anything more than the Spider, would you still prefer an NSX over the modern equivalent of an Evora GT for roughly the same price? It depends. I mean, it depends. I mean, the dynamics of the Lotus are better. But, I mean, look, I'm about to turn a profit on the NSX. Nobody makes a profit on an Evora GT.
No, a friend of mine just sold his, and I think he lost 20 over 2 years. Yeah.
So the Evora GTs are great if you want to beat the shit out of it for like 15 years because they have a floor, right? There's a if you have an uncrashed Lotus, there is a floor. So once you hit that floor, you're there forever. But I mean, NSXs are a well-kept NSX is an appreciating investment. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to cloud your judgment. So, what the fuck is that? You hear that?
An alarm is going off. High
The
pitched
car alarm, bro. It's like a car alarm, right? In the shop.
It's not the exhaust
It's
alarm.
not the exhaust alarm, yeah. PTS White. Watching a number of Savage Geese comparisons, they try to put the cars on the same tires from their sponsor. I wanted your thoughts on that approach versus the P. Cody approach of using the best OEM tire. I totally understand that approach, and I think that there is absolutely something to be learned from that approach.
Sure.
Having said that, almost every single high-performance car is developed to be at its best on a certain type of tire.
Or it has a tire developed for that car by the tire manufacturer.
Yeah. And so, like, if you're talking about two cars, like the example I used recently was like the from 2022 or maybe 23 performance car of the year, we had the Civic Type R and the Elantra N. The Civic Type R came on an optional R compound tire. I forget if it was a Cup 2 or if it was a Pirelli, but it was an R compound tire with an optional like Pilot Sport 4S. You could choose one, same, no cost, same price. So they issued us one they put stickies on it for the track, and then we switched them to this. Okay, we felt that gave us the best picture of how the manufacturer wants to present the car to the public. But then the Elantra N came on the PS4S's only, and we tracked that. And we found that the Civic Type R was about a little under a second or about a second faster around the track than the Elantra N. With most cars, that's about the difference on a 2-mile lap time for the 4S and the Cup 2 on almost any car. It's almost about that. So we concluded that adjusting for potential driver error or the discrepancy from it was the same driver doing all the laps, but on any given day, on the same tires, the Elantra N and the Civic Type R are the same speed, essentially, right? But the reason it's fair to do that is because you can actually get the Civic Type R on those tires. Now, you could put any tire on any car, but like, I don't know. I think I prefer the approach of doing it with the tire that the car comes on, because it's today the development of that tire, the co-development of that tire, especially at the high end, is very important.
Yeah.
The lower end the car, the more I think it's okay to put on the same tires because they're doing less. They're not developing a tire. Like an Elantra N might use PS4S's, but they're probably like off the rack ones, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'd have to Google.
But the lower end of the car, the more likely it is that they're doing that versus the fucking ones that come on a GT3 or something. I'm not saying that they're wrong at all. Like,
I think there's merit to both. I mean, I think Savage Geese, they almost do what you'd get in IMSA, where like they're all running on Michelins. It's just, I mean, yes, it's the tire sponsor, but it is a bit of an equalizer. So it just removes that variable, and now you are focusing more on the car than saying, oh, well, the PS5 worked better after 5 laps, whereas the R compound on this other car fell off after 2. Maybe it would have kept up with car A had that tire not fallen apart, so quickly. So this gets rid of all that, and they can just go, all right, let's just remove the variable. Plus, they have a tire sponsor.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way to work their tire sponsor.
Absolutely.
It's
a
more
great
than
way
anything
to do
else.
it.
But if I was sitting at dinner with Jack, right now, and I was saying, I'd really prefer to show the car the way that they want to show it. And Jack would go, I don't give a fuck how they want to show it.
Sure.
And I would go, okay, well, they probably might have developed this tire for this car. And he would go, well, that's fucking lazy of them, and I don't care. Which, I mean, is fine if that's how you want to position the way that you're testing the car. Totally
I think
fine.
the question that would be interesting to answer is how much of a difference in lap time is there between the tire they developed and the tire that was put on it for their test? And if that time is basically negligible, hundredths of a second or something, you go, all right, it doesn't really matter. So now removing this variable is better for a video, and it makes the test appear more even, but it doesn't really affect the lap time. If it affected it a lot, well, then that's kind of unfair to the car you're testing, I think.
Yeah. I think there's plenty of arguments for either side of it. Yeah. And I mean, certainly there's some arguments that are silly, but a lot that aren't silly. It doesn't, but I've always thought that the approach that we do, which is just whatever the car comes with from the factory, is a fair one as well. JF's Air Miles says, is it a D-bag move to buy a fake watch for a few $100 when you don't care about the clout or even care that much about watches? I always wanted an Aquaterra because I like the way they look, but I don't care about authenticity and would likely not ever to be able to justify buying a real one. Yes, it is.
Think so? I say go for it.
Look, I wouldn't walk up to you on the street and fucking talk shit, but you're here to ask an opinion, and buying fake stuff's lame.
I think if people ask you and you always say no, it's fake, but you give the explanation you just gave, then look, you want to look at this thing, it's like art to you, you can't afford it, you have medical bills and other situations, then okay, you want to look at it. It's like
here's why.
If people buy a print of a Van Gogh painting, poster, which they sell at the museum through the gift shop, and they go, I love this painting, it does something for me, I want to see it on the wall. Obviously, they'll never own the real one.
I don't think that's the same, because there's obviously only one real one, and there's thousands and thousands of real Aquaterras on people's wrists.
What about posters of cars?
Yes.
When you're a kid, right? You could have a poster.
No one's confusing those two things.
No, but I'm saying
you're not. The argument isn't a poster of a car. The argument is a fake car,
which I also think is okay.
A kit car.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I do.
I think they're lame because you know why? There's so many cars that cost what that kit car cost that are cool in their own way. And that's the way I think about this watch. There are so many watches that are awesome for a few $100. And look, the Aquaterra is a fucking nice watch. It is generic. Pull up Omega Aquaterra. There are 100 goddamn watches that look exactly like this. It's not particularly special. And so there's so many brands that make a watch that is essentially interchangeable with this watch.
I agree with what you're saying.
Citizen, Seiko,
immediately jumped
Orient, Tissot, Hamilton. I could think of fucking a dozen companies that are cool companies with a history and a cred that make this shit for the price you're saying. Whereas if you buy a fake one, it's not just that it's not gonna be a $250 watch that just happens to look. That should be a copy of an Omega. It's going to be like a $12 watch that is $250 because it looks like this Omega. But if it didn't look like an Omega, it would be $12.
That's also bad. If it's a really bad copy,
they're also shitty watches. Whereas this is if you buy a Citizen or a Seiko or an Orient or another entry level steel sports watch, of which so many companies make watches look just like this.
What about the Rolexes that you've said feel and look really close?
Yeah.
So are they're just higher quality fakes than something like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll have they'll have junk movements in them or like pretty shit movements, but some of the fakes are like real good looking, really good looking.
He'll have a ripcord to charge it.
You'd need to have a real one next to it to tell the difference, or like a scale. You know, our friend bought a fake Explorer 2, and I have a real Explorer 2, and I was pretty impressed, at least at first, at the quality of his watch. But when you put it next to mine, there are substantial differences, and the weights were different, and the feel, the metal felt different to the touch. I'm a huge proponent in not buying fake shit because I know how many cool watches there are for reasonable money. You just don't need to do it. You know, it's yeah. Especially to be like, I don't care about clout. Like, that's why you buy fake shit, to steal clout from the people who buy the real shit. You know what I mean? Toblerone Malone, what are your significant others or family members' thoughts on ADAS? Do they like them or turn them off as well? My wife does not like the ADAS. She turns it off as well. It gets in the way.
I think my wife turns off the lane keep assist stuff.
Lane keep assist is terrible. Although we'll talk about it on the next show. But I was the Rivians. I'm pretty impressed with. It's pretty good. My Taycan was fucking up a little bit, and I had to in the rain. I don't know what it is about Taycans. When it rains, their cameras get fucked up. Like. They don't like dry properly. They get like water spots and like blurry. Like our backup camera after the rain is like completely fucked. I have to so I was driving. It had stopped raining, and I was going to Willow and back in the Taycan, and I was just driving, no ADAS on, pedals, wheel. I'm driving, and I kept getting take over steering warnings, and you'd like jiggle the wheel a little bit, and it would go away. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I called our homie at Porsche. I was like, yo, do I need to go to the dealer? Because this is like, it happened on the way to Willow like 5 times. And he was like, first do the sleep cycle reset, which is the same that I did with that air conditioning thing. And then like really clean your cameras. He's like, because I know it's been raining in LA. Your cameras are really dirty.
It thinks you're wandering?
It thinks you're like getting close to shit.
Huh.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I did that. It hasn't happened since.
I wonder if you can spray like Rain-X or some other hydrophobic thing on the camera so that way water doesn't stick to it.
Maybe. Yeah. It's the placement, resolution, and this with the rear camera is a fucking problem. Driving the Rivian around the last couple of days, Hannah's like, oh my God, this camera. It's like, you know, the cameras on that thing are amazing. And the one on the Taycan sucks. Randy crossed on the thoughts on the Chris Ward Bel Canto. Love that watch. Real cool. Big MB&F vibes for like $5,000. Very pretty, and it's a chiming watch though. So you got to like,
whoa.
Yeah, it looks like $1 million, costs $5,000, and it chimes. So it chimes the hour, which is pretty fun.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to do for like a minute.
Yeah, you're wearing your own like church.
Yeah,
it's like ding ding.
They are. I mean, they're pretty cool, and usually a chiming watch would cost like 5 times that much. So, keel and toe. What makes the Porsche 918 different from the Ferrari SF90 in terms of enjoyment? On paper, they seem similar, mid-engine V8 with an E-motor, but the 918 is universally praised, and the SF90 is disliked. You're not wrong.
SF90 is also, the only Ferrari of the last 20 years to lose value?
Yeah.
Well, the only special one?
So, big one, carbon tub. The 918 is a carbon tub car. It's lighter. It rides and handles better. It steers better. The engine, by the way, is the fucking RS Spider Le Mans engine with exhaust stacks that are about 6 inches long and are right behind your head. It sounds fucking incredible. It's much more exciting to drive than the SF90, which is not that exciting. It looks different than other cars that cost half as much from the same manufacturer, whereas the SF90 kind of doesn't. And also it doesn't have a bunch of haptic garbage on the steering wheel that you keep hitting and a bunch of like glitchy, crappy software. I mean, it has 2013 touchscreens, which is a bummer, but you can deal with that. I'd rather have 2013 touchscreens than 2021 haptic controls on the steering wheel.
So the Motor Trend weighed a 918, said it weighed 3791.
Yeah.
And the SF90, what's interesting is I can't find anyone that put it on a scale, but they estimate it's about the same.
I think it's heavier.
So you think it's I
think it's a little bit heavier.
Carbuzz says it's 3593.
That's horseshit. That's going to be a dry weight.
Yeah, the dry weight is reported all over. Yeah. So okay, so a couple 100 pounds heavier, but I think the interior, and then I think the 296 came out and it's a hybrid with the same buttons in interior, and I think they look real similar to the SF90
for half the price.
For half the price.
Yeah.
So
they're just as fast.
Yeah.
Like
there's been no 918 successor that cost $12.
Yeah. Rage Against the Mach-E. We all know what they say about lifted trucks, etc. On the other hand, what car has the most big dick energy?
Which drivers are hung?
Vans.
Vans? You think like the shaggin' vans?
Minivans? Yeah. Yes. What's the name of that magazine? Rolling Heavy. Rolling Heavy is the van magazine.
Yeah.
What has the most big dick energy?
I think actually someone who owns an old like Rolling Heavy van and there's a true bed in the back, and the someone who's putting out the vibe all the time, they're like, "Hey, you want to fuck?
Yeah,
I'm down to fuck right now, and I have the car for it." You're like, you must be slanging or good at it because you're just putting that message out there.
Yeah. How about like luxury Sprinter van being rolled up is a pretty big dick energy car, rolling up in a Sprinter van.
Oh, luxury. I was thinking like off-road Sprinter.
No.
Yeah.
Like like having a driver kind of, there aren't a lot of
Huh? That definitely carries the energy of
pink Boxsters with like 600 horsepower. Just saying. No, I mean I think there's a bunch of cars that like I think the Manxes kind of do, actually, because like anything where it's like weird and silly, but like self-confident,
not trying hard, right?
Yeah,
absolutely,
just like a fun, cool vibe. Yes. Always
a car that exudes a relaxed, confident person.
Yeah. The Turbo R did actually. The Turbo R just rolling along, and being a young person in an old person's car, that'll do it. Lowrider, 6'4", bouncing, I think, possibly.
Maybe. I don't know. There's no way to verify any of this. Well, there's not a way to do it that I wanted to participate in, I should say.
Is that the and?
No.
Oh, it's another page. Oh, sorry.
One more page.
Piggly Wiggly Deluxe says, nobody ever seems to talk about the SRT10 Ram trucks. That's because they're bad. Would you want one of those or a Lightning, and is the silver... Okay, hang on. Let's see. Few different questions here. Would you rather an SRT10 Ram truck or a Ford Lightning? If you're talking about the 03, Lightning. All day.
Yeah.
I drove the SRT10. It sucks.
I don't like the way it sounds.
Sounds like garbage.
Power band? No.
Drives like garbage, sounds like garbage. We don't need it. Is the Silverado SS any good? No, it is.
Like the old one from the early 90s with the 454 and
those are not good. And then the one from like 07 or whatever this was, also not good. Yeah, no, you don't want any of that. And big power factory street trucks suck my medium-sized cock.
What you want now is you get yourself an F-150 with all-wheel drive. You get the like short cab.
Yeah.
And then with a 10-speed on it, and you boost the hell out of it, and now you have a fast truck.
Yeah.
And that will destroy most cars on the road. Mm-hmm. See this versus that.
Okay. So Piggly Wiggly Deluxe saw a YouTube short showing a woman riding a motorcycle that was way too big but had training wheels that would drop down when you come to a stop to keep the bike upright. And they would retract when the bike took off. The comments section was pretty spicy, but it seemed pretty clever and harmless. Thoughts? Look, whatever gets people into the hobby. I happen to think anything that keeps you from riding a trike. Friends don't let friends ride trikes. But also it could be like AI, or it could be... Okay, so here's a woman. Oh, okay. So this person is riding a big fucking bike. This is a little woman
riding like a big adventure bike
in Asia somewhere, riding a huge BMW GS adventure bike, And to be perfectly honest, I think it's great.
That makes a lot of sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
She comes to a stop. For people who are listening, this woman comes to a stop, dangles her feet, and they are 8 inches above the ground. There's no way in hell she can touch the ground. So all it does is come down when she stops, keeps the bike from tipping over, and then she pulls away, and they retract, and it looks like they do a very smooth job of it.
Yeah, this is the only way that this woman could practically ride this motorcycle.
She's delivering something. There's a box on the back.
I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I don't hate it, dude. I rode that.
Wow.
Piaggio MP3 scooter with had 2 wheels in the front, one in the back, and you could lean.
Yep.
That had a button that would lock it upright. So when you would come to a stop, as you got down to like 2 miles an hour, you just tap this button and it would just lock it upright, so you wouldn't have to put your feet down. And then you just when you hit as soon as you rolled on the throttle to go, it would release it. I found it to be quite luxurious.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with our patron. It does seem totally harmless.
Yeah. I don't know why you'd make fun of that person.
I mean, there's, I guess, potentially some kind of argument that the bike is objectively too large for her. But, like, who am I to say that a short person can't ride an adventure motorcycle safely?
It also could be in a market where there's not that many options for motorcycles.
Sure.
And she's like, this is what I can get, or it's very good, or it's handed down to me. There's so many reasons that, I mean, she knows she can't reach the ground. Like she got there and knows that. Yeah. But she had to solve this problem. So I like it.
Christian says, can you tell the difference between new car smells from different automakers? I used to work at Lexus, and a new Lexus smells different than a new Ford, etc. Could you do a blind smell test of new cars?
I couldn't.
I don't think I could. I'll tell you what I could do, though, is probably a blind smell test of like cars from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
If you put in a room, let's just say
a Volkswagen Jetta.
You put in a room a Jetta, 98 Mark III Jetta. You then put an 80s Ferrari. You then put an E46 BMW.
E36 might be different.
You put a Fox body Mustang. You know, you
that
put.
That just smells like skull.
There's a very specific smell to a Fox body Mustang. You put a few different cars from history, and I could do much, much better than if it was brand new cars. I know what you mean, though. We just drove a brand new car, Zach did. It had a real distinct brand new car smell about it. That car I probably could have picked out as that brand's smell.
Because they probably, because there are a lot of those.
I've smelled it a lot.
Yeah. Same glue.
New Lexus does smell very good. I'm agree with Christian on this one. A new Lexus is a new Bentley. Bro.
Well, then there's the plot twist of the Bentley or Mercedes that have the perfuminator in the glove box, which usually is too strong smelling.
Yeah,
but I'd probably be able to notice.
All the Maybachs we get are like permeated with that. Yeah,
I don't like it.
We got to try one of the Lincolns that have that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I asked the lady at Pebble Beach, "What's the
like
best
Detroit pizza?"
No, I asked her what's the best smell to cover up blunts, and she was like, "Oh, I couldn't possibly say this one. It's this one." I was like, "By the way, this water tastes."
Someone said that
this
video...
water tastes like this bottle sat outside for about a month.
Yeah, microplastics.
That's not great.
Someone says that motorcycle video was filmed in China. In China, motorcycles have to go to the junkyard after 13 years. It's the law. Now, I didn't fact check that, but that's what one of our patrons said.
I'm not surprised. I mean, that's unfortunate, but maybe it's emissions. You know, they're trying to cycle out older bikes. I think... I mean, it seems to me that China has done a pretty amazing job of turning their environmental problems around pretty quickly. I mean, they haven't fixed it, but like they're on the way. Yeah,
renewable energy and all that kind of stuff.
Seems like in observable reality, that's a good idea. I don't know. It's crazy. What do I know about these atmospheric rivers, though? Right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope you have had or will have a happy Thanksgiving, some sort. I'm going to have 2.
Yeah, 2 Thanksgivings.
This is great. This is going to be awesome.
Leftovers the same day.
It's going to be so good, you guys. But I did go to the Malibu Farmers Market this morning to get the sprouted nuts to make the special pie. I'm actually pretty excited about that one. That's it. We're very thankful for all of you,
absolutely,
but especially our patrons who really, really do support us in many ways. Well, 2. They listen and then they give money. Those are really the 2 big ones. We appreciate all of you. I promise, working on the live tour there's apparently more to it than one thought. But yeah, we'll see you guys after the holiday. It's my birthday next week.
Yeah.
40 motherfucking 4. 44. What does that mean?
You texted me about it, and then you did not reply. You got to.
No, we're gonna go with the dinner.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. I need to get a head count.
Got it.
I need to get a head count. I don't know if I said this on the show. When I was in Atlanta to pick up the 918, our friend at Porsche was like, "Hey, I'm shooting something upstairs. I'm shooting some video upstairs, but like come up to the lobby at the Porsche Experience Center and say hi." So I go up and he's hanging out with this fucking famous chef, Evan Funky, who is like, there's a chef's table about him, and he has 3 restaurants in LA. And he turns out, he's like, "Oh shit, Matt Farah, I've seen your videos." I'm like, "Oh shit, I fucking eat at all your restaurants." And he was one of his restaurants is very hard to get in. And I have a very specific strategy of how to get in there. I go by myself on a Tuesday. I sit at the bar. It's the only way to get in. He's like, "I like your fucking style." So he's offered to host me and some friends at his restaurant.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
wow.
He said for your birthday, I'm going to set you up. So I was like, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it could be pretty slick. It could be a good time. I mean, obviously, it will be a good time. So I think that's what we're going to do for my birthday dinner is actually, Evan is actually going to cook us dinner.
That's super cool.
Yeah, which is really
Look
sick.
at you.
That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be really fun. That was a random fun thing that happened on that trip that I forgot about because the 918 is very overwhelming for a week. But also, best pasta chef in California is going to make us dinner.
That's dope.
Fuck yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. See you next time.